bylaw. I'll take you a step back, just as an example. Let's say you have a piece of property where on one side of the parcel there's something of really significant ecological value. But you have this zoning bylaw that says you must be 6 meters back from the front lot line and 4.5 meters on this side and 5.5 on this side, and you can only do this and this and this with your site, and it can only be this tall, your building can only be this tall. Well, the whole idea behind that is actually we want you to pay attention to the site. We want you to pay attention to the ecological values or the cultural values and or any other important sites, or how it relates to other buildings, or how it relates to sunlight, and make some intelligent design decisions and pitch to us how you're going to meet our goals as a community, rather than cookie cutter. You know, the sort of architectural drawings that you see sometimes where you're not quite sure if the architect even visited the site, because they're looking at the zoning bylaws and they're looking at all of the rules and regulations and trying to stay within those instead of doing what really is intelligent to do and varying those. So we've kind of set up our new OCP with this vision of intelligent urban design. We're trying to take some of the prescriptiveness out of the zoning bylaw in time and put it into design guidelines and reach certain goals. Does that answer your question?
Yeah. So what I'm hearing is that in the need, recognizing that obviously you've got certain goals, but someone can come in and apply for their building permit or their DP based on the existing rules doesn't really meet the goals, right? So
Exactly.
what you're saying is we'll push them to do a rezoning based on how they meet those goals.
So we're trying to make it more guidelines oriented than bylaw oriented, so that they don't have to formally apply for variances in order to vary for intelligent reasons the design guidelines. And it should be more guidelines than, because practically everything we do goes through a development permit process anyway. So we get a chance to look at the decisions that designers are making and assess how well they're meeting our goals.
So you're going to actually broaden some legal opportunities for them to not have to rezone. Is that right?
It's not so much not having to rezone, although that's a possibility, but it's more that not necessarily that they would have to vary or that they wouldn't have to meet certain. See, part of the problem is even though we do allow variances, architects aren't used to that, so they just look at the zoning bylaw and they look at the setbacks, and then they just do that thing. So that thing they do. Any architects?
Hey, Emilie.